Have you ever noticed something strange? The harder a task is, the more your brain suddenly wants to do literally anything else. You sit down to work. Suddenly cleaning the kitchen feels important. You open a business project. Suddenly you're researching random facts you'll never use. You decide to go to the gym. Suddenly organizing your closet seems urgent. Sound familiar? Most people call this laziness. Neuroscience calls it something else. Your brain is trying to protect you. And if you don't understand how that system works, it can quietly control your entire life. Today, you'll learn why your brain avoids hard things, why procrastination has almost nothing to do with laziness, and a simple 5-step framework called the Lotus Method that can help you stop fighting your brain and start working with it. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to make difficult things feel easier, how to break through resistance, and why the solution isn't more motivation. It's understanding the game your brain is playing. Let's begin. The first thing you need to understand is that your brain was never designed for success. It was designed for survival. Thousands of years ago, humans didn't need to build companies, write reports, or learn coding. They needed to avoid danger, find food, stay alive. The brain evolved to conserve energy whenever possible, and that system still exists today. The problem is that modern life is completely different. Your brain reacts to uncertainty the same way it once reacted to physical threats. A difficult conversation, starting a business, launching a YouTube channel, applying for a new job, public speaking, all of these can trigger stress responses inside the brain. And when the brain detects stress, it looks for escape routes. That's why procrastination happens. Not because you're lazy, because your brain is trying to reduce discomfort. Here's an important idea. Procrastination isn't a time management problem. It's an emotion management problem. Think about that. Most people assume they procrastinate because they don't have enough discipline, but often they're avoiding a feeling: fear, uncertainty, embarrassment, frustration, self-doubt. The task itself isn't the problem. The emotions attached to the task are. That's why you can spend hours watching videos, scrolling social media, or cleaning your room when there's something important you should be doing. Your brain chooses temporary comfort over temporary discomfort. And unfortunately, temporary comfort often creates long-term pain. Now, let's talk about something Buddhists have understood for centuries: the monkey mind. Monkey mind describes a restless, distracted mental state. One moment you're focused, the next moment you're thinking about lunch, then your phone, then an old memory, then a completely unrelated idea. The mind jumps constantly, like a monkey swinging from branch to branch. When difficult work appears, monkey mind immediately searches for escape. Let's do it tomorrow. Let's check Instagram first. Let's watch one video. Let's wait until we're motivated. And before you know it, the day is gone. The Lotus Method begins with awareness, because you can't change a pattern you don't notice. The moment you catch yourself making excuses, pause. Observe the thought. Don't fight it. Simply notice it. You might say, "Interesting. My brain is trying to avoid discomfort right now." That simple observation is powerful. Why? Because neuroscience shows that naming mental patterns activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, reasoning, and decision-making. Meanwhile, emotional reactions lose some of their power. In other words, awareness gives control back to you. Without awareness, you're operating on autopilot. With awareness, you're finally driving. Step 2 is learning to flow with resistance instead of fighting it. This is where most people make a mistake. They try to force themselves into action. They declare, "I'm going to work for 8 hours. I'm going to completely change my life today. I'm going to finish everything." The brain sees this and immediately panics. The task feels overwhelming. Resistance increases. Avoidance grows stronger. Instead of forcing the river, learn to flow with it. Ask yourself, what's the smallest possible step? This is called a gateway task. The gateway task is so small, your brain can't justify resisting it. Don't write the entire report. Open the document. Don't work out for an hour. Put on your shoes. Don't build the business. Send one email. Don't read an entire book. Read one page. Small actions bypass resistance. And something interesting happens once you begin. Momentum appears. Progress creates dopamine. Dopamine creates motivation. And motivation makes continued action easier. Most people think motivation comes first. The truth is often the opposite. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Now let's move to step 3. Stillness. Modern brains are overwhelmed. Notifications, message, news, videos, emails, endless stimulation. Your brain never gets a chance to breathe. Imagine trying to see your reflection in muddy water. The more you stir it, the cloudier it becomes. But if you leave it alone, the mud settles. The same thing happens inside your mind. For centuries, Zen practitioners use stillness to train attention. You don't need to become a monk. You simply need a few minutes of silence. 5 to 10 minutes each day. Sit quietly, breathe slowly, observe your thoughts without chasing them. At first, your brain will hate it. That's normal. Most people are addicted to stimulation. But over time, stillness changes your relationship with discomfort. Research shows meditation can lower cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. It can improve emotional regulation. It can strengthen focus. And perhaps most importantly, it teaches you that not every thought deserves your attention. You don't have to obey every impulse. You don't have to follow every distraction. You can simply notice it and let it pass. Step 4 is intentional action. This might be the most practical step of all. Every day, choose one important task. Not 10. 1. Give it your full attention for 25 to 50 minutes. No notifications. No multitasking. No checking messages. No switching tabs. Just one task. Modern culture celebrates multitasking. Your brain doesn't. Every time you switch tasks, your attention pays a cost. Focus decreases. Mental energy drops. Productivity suffers. Deep focus is a superpower in a distracted world. One focus hour can accomplish more than 3 distracted hours. Protect your attention. It's one of your most valuable assets. Finally, step 5. Patience. This is where most people fail. Not because they aren't capable, because they quit too soon. We live in a world obsessed with quick results. Everyone wants immediate success, immediate money, immediate transformation. But growth rarely works that way. Think about the lotus flower. Before it blooms, it spends a long time growing beneath muddy water. Nothing appears to happen. No visible reward. No applause. No proof. Yet growth is happening. The same thing happens with skills, habits, businesses, health, confidence. For a long time, progress seems invisible. Then suddenly, everything changes. People call it luck. They call it talent. They call it overnight success. But the truth is simple. The bloom was happening long before anyone noticed, including you. That's why patience matters. Patience keeps you moving when results are invisible. Patience prevents dopamine burnout from constantly chasing quick wins. Patience allows compound growth to work its magic. So here's your Lotus Method cheat sheet. 1. Awareness. Catch the scam. 2. Flow. Start smaller. 3. Stillness. Calm the noise. 4. Intentional action. Focus deeply. 5. Patience. Trust the process. And remember this. Your brain isn't trying to make you successful. It's trying to make you comfortable. If you spend your life obeying every desire for comfort, you'll stay exactly where you are. But if you learn to understand your brain, instead of fighting it, everything changes. You stop seeing yourself as lazy. You stop believing you're broken. You realize you've simply been running outdated software in a modern world. So let me ask you something. What's the one hard thing you've been avoiding lately? A business idea? A difficult conversation? A fitness goal? A project you've delayed for months? Comment below. Then take the smallest possible step today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today, because the moment you start moving, your brain starts changing. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and subscribe for more psychology, focus, productivity, and self-improvement content. And remember, the goal isn't to defeat your brain. The goal is to train it. Because once your brain starts working for you instead of against you, there's no limit to what you can achieve. See you in the next one.